So let's move over to streaming then for the week, because we've got three, I think, decent caliber ones to talk about this week.
There's one that I'm looking forward to talking about. There's one that I've never heard of, which is this one, which is Coffee and Kareem, which is on Netflix from Friday.
Yeah, so from Friday the 3rd, which is obviously this is today, this is a new movie, because I didn't know about this. They didn't wheel out the trailer until the 11th hour, and yet it looks surprisingly good. It is a movie in which Ed Helms is a sort of doughy schlub copper. I think his name actually is Coffee. He's going out with Taraji P. Henson, and he is caught by her 12-year-old son in bed with her one morning. The son tries to embarrass him, and they wind up, the pair of them, forced to team up on the run from an army of drug lords. Just looks absolutely foul-mouthed, very Good Boys type, the Good Boys meets Pineapple Express kind of a thing. Very foul-mouthed, R-rated, very in-your-face, very inappropriate, don't watch it with your grandmother kind of a thing.
The poster for it looks very sort of 70s cop show kind of like feel. I quite like the poster. I'm sort of buying into it already. I mean, don't expect this to be highbrow in the slightest. This is going to be something that just, is going to tickle your fancy for a weekend, I think, and just, something easy to watch.
I think so. I absolutely think so. Speaking of easy to watch then, over on Amazon Prime from Saturday the 4th, because we've already had one trilogy capper from The Apes, let's have a trilogy capper from The Butler. Let's talk about Angel Has Fallen, which hits Amazon Prime on Saturday, the third installment of the iconic Has Fallen series, which began, of course, with Olympus, and then took us to London, in which all of London's major known landmarks were destroyed, but not the unknown ones. And now, of course, rather than actually taking down a location, they're taking down the man himself. So it's all about terrorists going after Gerard Butler and trying to frame him for assassinating the president. Do you have the pleasure of this one when it was on?
I did. And do you know what? I feel like every week we talk about something has fallen. And do you know what? And I'm happy for it. I'm excited because I really enjoyed this one. This is the more serious of the trilogy. It's a bit more brooding. There's a couple of incredible action sequences in this. There's a drone sequence above a lake, which is amazing, where they're basically out to essentially kill everyone from the presidential party in this one sort of dramatic sequence. But for me, this is what the true joy of the Fallen. Has Fallen sort of trilogy is the laugh at itself sequences. So for instance, that Gerard Butler's got a little twinkle in his eye when he's delivering certain lines because he just knows that we're all going to take the mick out of it, and that's what makes it work. This one takes itself a little bit more seriously, and maybe is thinking it was a trilogy. Are we going to carry on the franchise? We need to kind of take a different route with it.
How did you find me?
I want security for the president. How do you think? You've been here the last 5 years. North Carolina before that. Alaska before that.
You see, that's Big Brother for you.
No. Actually, it was just me wondering if you were still alive.
Did you do it?
You'd like it if I did, wouldn't you? Dad.
And of course, they get to introduce Nick Nolte as Gerard Butler's dad. What amazing casting that is.
Yeah.
I should mention, like you were saying about, do we take this as the end of the trilogy? I think the producer of this has recently announced he sees another entire trilogy being made out of this.
Do you know what? I see this could go on for years. If Gerard Butler wants to do it, I'm game to watch it. I think
this is going to wind up with like Michigan Has Fallen, isn't it? This is where this is going to do
Every
state
like
has fallen.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what?
The Antarctic has fallen.
Do you know what? It's got a formula that works though for its audience, and that's why they've managed to make 3 of these already. So if it's going to work again, they might as well just crack on with it because it is enjoyable and it's silly, it's throwaway, it's absolutely, one of those ones that you kind of take with a pinch of salt. But if you need to kind of while away 2 hours, do it with this movie because it's got everything you want from a almost homage to the 90s action movies of the time because it just has everything in it that you could enjoy.
And without going into too many spoilerific details, it does end with the most hilariously out of place slapstick comedy post-credit scene. You're just like, why? why have you done this? Like,
Yeah.
Gerard Butler is a producer on this. How did he sign off on this? I mean, that man starred in Geostorm. He knows better. But anyway, let's not leave it there, though. Let's leave it with a return from an old friend, your friend to the end. It is, of course, Chucky. Child's Play, the remake, is arriving on Netflix next Friday, the 10th of April. This starred Aubrey Plaza and had Mark Hamill, I believe, as the voice of Chucky, who's now no longer a good guy doll. He's a buddy doll. He's a smart doll. I don't know what child would want one of these. It's a small doll that moves and talks and walks around your house. Apparently, a 12-year-old boy would want one of these, according to this film.
Wow.
Let's have a little sample.
Chucky is a toy, okay? It broke, you got rid of it.
Mom, I saw him. I saw him following Doreen.
No, you didn't. Listen to what you're saying.
Mom, he's gonna kill her.
Chuck.
Why aren't you listening to me? I have it on Omar's phone. He's following Doreen. I can show you.
Why do you have Omar's phone?
I took it.
Why?
I had to. I had to follow Chucky, Mom.
Okay.
I'm not crazy, Mom.
Stay right here, okay?
Mom!
And you're coming to work with me.
He's trying to kill us!
No one ever believes the doll did it theory, did they?
No, they don't. And actually, this for me has like terrifying nostalgia. I watched the first ever Child's Play probably when I was way too young, at like 6.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, with my cousins, my older cousins, and they were like, "Let's watch this movie about a doll," and sat there. I couldn't sleep for days afterwards. I just remember that. So I've never really taken like a shining light to Chucky.
No.
They have got silly and funny as it's gone along, but to be honest, for me, I just think it's something that was always embedded in my brain as something that I just was terrified of as a kid. But you know, that's part of the appeal, right?
Yeah, I mean, did you get a chance to watch this remake when it was out?
I didn't, no.
Just late summer last year, I think.
Yeah. I did see it come out, and I thought, you know what? I can take it or leave it. I think I'm going to leave it.
Well, now you don't have to, because on Netflix you can simply watch it on queue. So
boy.
that's available from Friday the 10th. I recommend it. I think it's got some decent things going for it. I think if it hadn't been called Child's Play, it would have been a terrific film.
Yeah.
I think calling it Child's Play is its weakest point, to be honest, because it has exactly naff all to do with Child's Play. There's no Charles Lee Ray. There's no murdered. There's no. Was he a murdered rapist? I think he was originally, or something like that.
Who knows? I was 6, remember?
Oh, true. I think Freddie was the child murderer. Charles Lee Ray was just a rapist, I think.
Great.
But, they all get killed and come back. Only bad people come back when they die, apparently. But that's another helpful week of streaming offerings for you. In the meanwhile, don't forget there's loads of things on there. Goodfellas, as we say, is on streaming. I think I was talking about Green Book being on Prime the other day.
Oh, wow.
You can find that on Prime. That's worth watching.
Definitely.
I was disappointed to discover that Amazon Prime has dropped Demolition Man from its library, because I was looking forward to revisiting that. Just because we keep running out of toilet paper, and I want to know how the 3 seashells thing works.